Ugh. Okay, I know I look like a mess right now, but I'm still gonna try to power through this. If you hear any noises, I promise no one is being tortured. There are just kids downstairs and they're just being kids and they're very loud. If you're a mother, you understand. I am not a mother, but yeah. Filming in a room by yourself is more awkward than what you could ever imagine. Do try it someday. Oh, this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. So yes, I am sitting on the floor. I know my sound quality sucks. I need to figure a new situation out soon. Background kind of sucks, but my room is a complete mess and I did not want to film in there because it's just insane. I was trying to think of an icebreaker to start back into vlogging, and I thought, what if I told people about this crazy dream that I had like a couple months ago? I know what you're thinking is like, why do I need to know the dreams that you're having? This was a crazy dream. Like, it was super weird. Please excuse the noise. It was like the most weirdest dream that I've had in a really long time. I don't believe this dream has any like valuable meaning or anything like that. The only thing that like it proves is like how weird I am. And I can't like, I have a hard time understanding like how my brain could even think like that while I'm asleep. What I remember about this dream, I'll try to go into detail. I suck at trying to explain detail. Sit back, get a snack. It probably won't be that long because I can only remember little tiny bits and scenes of this dream. But what I do know is that this dream lasts a very long time. It was a very long dream. The scenery though was amazing. Like, I was watching it and I kind of zoomed up onto the scene. It was kind of like a movie. I don't know. Some of my dreams work out that way. Why? I do not know. Like, my mind zoomed up on this scene and it was like I was coming from like hundreds of feet away, and we were just zooming into the scene, and there were these people. There was like this ladder, but it wasn't really a ladder. It was like a staircase going up the side of a mountain. This mountain was frozen. It was a very cold climate. It was very, like, there was snow, I think, some ice, if I remember correctly, and they were running up as fast as they could possibly run up this mountainside. I'm pretty sure it was metal stairwell into like this area, like on top of this like cliff part of the mountain, if that makes any sense. There is like this opening that goes like into the mountain, but it's like here's the mountain cliff and the openings like drop down like that. There was like this group of people and they're just running. The stairwell was catching on fire. Like, it was moving up right behind them and they were just trying to get up onto this like thing where they could get inside this, they could drop down into the mountain. I wish I knew, like a hatch. It was a hatch. Get into the hatch to drop into this mountain. 3 of these characters, I'm gonna call them characters, I don't know what else to call them. 3 of these people, like men, they were men and women, but I don't remember seeing any children in this scene. They were dressed up as like rats. I know that's really weird, but like they were costume, they weren't like rats, but they were like full size costume, like they came from like some sort of circus or something, but there were like 2 or 3 of them dressed up as these rats, and they were the ones who were leading them up the mountain. I think they got these guys into the hatch just as the flame was getting really close to them, and one of the guys who was not dressed up as a rat let the people go in first, and he stayed out. He didn't drop down into the hatch. He stayed out with the rats and he shut the hatch and he locked it to save everybody else. And I don't remember what happened to the fire. I know it was still kind of there, but the people who were left on top of this hatch, they stood up there and they had another conversation amongst themselves, and I literally do not remember what they said to each other. But one of them was like complimenting him on like sacrificing himself to save the other people, and then they were like trying to keep each other, like they knew that they were going to die, like they knew that, and they knew that they were like, this was their last moments. So I know that they were talking about something that seemed slightly important. I don't really know. I think they froze to death. Like I think it got super cold and they just like froze to death, but I don't remember actually watching it. My brain went down into the hatch right after that. Like, after I knew they had this conversation, I went down the hatch, and suddenly I was with the people in the hatch, like in the mountain, and they were standing on like this like elevator thing. They were standing on this like, it didn't look like an elevator, but it was like this like cage, like there's this platform, and it was a metal platform, and they stood on it, but there was like a hole, not a hole, but like the platform was round, but there was like a hole cut out in the middle, so like it went down, like you could see down into the mountain. but they stood on this like cage-like metal platform, and it was like an elevator, and it just slowly dropped them down, like carried them down to the bottom of this mountain thing. It's kind of like a silo, I guess. They were going down this, and as they were going down, there was like food like hanging like down the middle of this. Like it was a place where they store food, but this food was like large vegetables, like super large vegetables that they were just hanging on chains. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain it. It was super, super weird. And they were like talking to each other, but I don't know what they said. Like most of the time when they, like these people were talking, I don't remember what they said. I don't know why. I didn't recognize any of these people. I actually don't remember if I seen any faces or if I just knew that they were people. After this scene, I suddenly like went to another place, completely different country. So I went like, my brain went to like this place, and it was super beautiful. It was like very grassy, very green, it was just a very beautiful place. I saw like 2 or 3 different people in this scene. Oh, again, I was not a part of these people. Like I was watching, not really there. And they were trying to save their livestock from something. Like that's like the idea I got from watching them. There was like this big truck and this trailer, and they were trying to load their horses and like take care of their sheep. But I'm pretty sure they were sheep. They could have been something else. But I know they had horses. I don't think I saw the horses. I just know that they were in the trailer. But they were trying to like save their livestock, like from something. I have no idea what it was. It was a very unknown source because there was clearly nothing going on except for the fact that they were trying to load up their livestock and drive away as far as they could get away. And I don't remember anything else from that scene except for that. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to explain anything else. Okay, this is like when it starts to get kind of weird. I mean, I know it was weird before, but then there was like more weird stuff. So, like, in the only parts I can remember being in this dream was I was in this home that was kind of a lot like my home, and I was actually like this child, and my mom was like my mom. I mean, she was still my mom, but like this child I don't think was actually me, but that's the only part I remember being like in the dream, if that makes any sense. But my mom looked kind of like my mom. The house was kind of like my house, but it was completely different, like the outside. Like in this whole dream, I was a child, and I was watching most of this stuff happening on the news. I know that sounds really, really weird, but like we knew some of this was going on because in different scenes my brain kept cutting back to this house where we were watching this on the news, but the TV wasn't where the TV was. Like it was like in the kitchen, oddly, and I kept playing outside. I mean, like, I was outside playing in parts of the dream, coming back in, seeing this weird stuff on the news, and I was watching it, like, with my mom. So there's, like, these American figures, like, they were, like, generals and, like, leaders, like, our country leaders. Like, I'm pretty sure it was America, because it's what I was assuming. I don't know. But they kept, like, showing up on the news, and they kept claiming all this stuff, and I don't remember exactly what the stuff was, but they're talking about, I don't know, stuff that, well, like, was changing everything. Like everything was changing. Like in my mind, it was like the end of the world or something. And like things were getting like out of hand and crazy. But yet in the parts of this dream, I kept cutting back to this normal lifestyle. Like I was still a kid. I was outside playing in the pond. Like I was still having like some sort of carefree like moments in this dream. But yet the rest of the world was like going insane. So like they kept popping up on the TV. I don't know. Like a lot of events were taking place. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they were like talking to other countries, but there was like this group of Americans. I'm pretty sure they were Americans. I'm not 100% positive. They could have been another group of people. I have no idea. But they were like rebels, I guess. Like insane. Like they had mental issues. They were gathering and they were causing so much like panic and chaos. And I know this because they somehow got a hold of like army equipment or something. There were these like machines I have never seen before, and I do not know how to explain them for the life of me. But were like boats, really long, like very long boats. Like, I mean, pretend they were bigger, but they were like this kind of shape. I don't know how to explain it. Long boats type things, but they could scale up walls. Like they could do that, and I have no idea what they are. Like I've never seen anything like that before. And I don't know how to explain them. I have no idea how my brain could have even thought of it. This is the part that turned into complete nightmare. In my dream, I watched them. They were floating, and then like on the news, they were talking about them. Like they were on the water, and they were coming up on this huge, massive wall. And I'm pretty sure It was Japan or China. I'm pretty sure they invaded Japan. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it was Japan. I don't know. But they were on the water and they came up to the wall, and there was a whole group of Japanese, having some sort of celebration. And so there were a lot of children, there were a lot of kids, there were like adults, and they were very normal like citizens. Like, I've never been to Japan, but it was just people celebrating. And they were like on like an amusement park. There was like an a fun park, and that's where the wall was at. Like, right behind it was the park, but it was like coming up on the ocean, and somehow they got past that, and there was like 3 or 4 of these ship wall scaling things, 3 or 4, maybe 5, and they got to the wall and they went up it, and then once they got over the wall, they just like killed everybody, like kids and adults and parents. It was horrible to watch. Like, I only remember little bits and pieces, and I am so glad. It was just like the most weirdest, insane dream. Like, I've had a lot of really weird dreams. That one stood out to me. Like, it was just so, ugh. Like, I hope I don't have one like that again, because I woke up and right away I didn't remember it, but like after I got out of bed and started thinking about it, I was like, oh my goodness. So I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I had like this nightmare and it was so horrible. And I'm sure I could have remembered like a lot of details then, more details then than I do now, just because it's been a while. But just like certain parts of that kind of stuck with me. And my thing is going to die again, so I need to stop talking. But I hope you enjoy this. I hope it wasn't too weird. I know now you probably are thinking, man, you are a screwed up person. If you could just subscribe, I can't speak now. If you could subscribe, that would be great. Give this video a like if you like these kinds of videos, and I will hopefully see you later. Please return. We will be vlogging soon. I suck at endings. Bye.